Okay, listen, guys. So, online students, am I audible? Online students, am I audible? Okay, all right. So now let me see in the last session, okay, up to aliases we discussed in the last class. Okay, okay, right. And the next one, text hiding, text hiding, concatenation operator, concatenation operator. So generally concatenation operators, okay, we want to use guys here whenever we need to add the two or more than two string expressions. When we need to add and form it one statement, there we can use what now? Concatenation. And this concatenation, even though you people are using in Java, in your Java programs, you need to use some concatenation symbol. Which symbol we are using? Huh? Plus a? Plus a? So concatenation, how we are using in Java to adding two string expressions, same as in database also we have a concatenation operator, but my symbolic is what now? It means that it's a parallel symbol we are going to be use. Okay, now? Now below write down to add two or more than two string expressions, more than two string expressions. So what is the syntax for this? Okay, then I have to give string number one, concatenation, string number two, concatenation, string number three. So like you can go to, okay, like you can go to number of string expressions you need to add. Okay, right. So now come out and see example here. Come to your example and first go to your database now and log in with your user account, MyDB 4 p.m. Losing, huh? Okay, now carefully observe. So suppose you need to take, okay, carefully observe, select, and now one of my string I can say here, okay, suppose good, and concatenation, another string was going to take here. So evening. Okay, now. So these are what now two string expression from dual. So here, what is dual? In the future, you can understand that. Okay, what is dual? I will explain to you in coming soon. Okay, right. So here you can see the good is called as a string, and we all of you know this database. In database, string can be representing with a single quotes, not a double quotes. So this is string number one, concatenation operator, string number two. So the both strings are added and forming one sentence or one statement. The statement is called as what now? Good evening. Okay. This is generally when you want to go to add your two string expressions here, you can add like this. Okay, right now. Okay, right. Suppose come to another example. Come to another example. Now you can see this is my table. Carefully observe. This is one of the table. So yesterday we taken. From this table, I need to make one sentence now. Okay, now what is the sentence you can observe? Select. First, my string I'm giving here. Okay, the employee is a one string. To this string expression, I'm going to add. Okay, I'm going to add. What I'm going to add? E name column I'm adding. So E name column means this is. But tell me, E name column data type is what type? Varchar 2. Varchar 2 means it is a string format. Yes. So that's why I don't want to give any single quotes because E name is already character string type. Okay. So that I just given. Suppose up to here from EMP table because this column I'm taking from which table? EMP. Now tell me, in this sentence, how many strings are there? How many strings are added? Two strings are added. First one, the employee is a one string, e name is a another string. So now if I executed this one, what it was happen, you can see the employee Smith. First employee name is what now? Smith. Second employee, Allen. So now you can see the employee Smith, Allen, Ward, Jones, Martin, okay, Blake, Clark, Scott, King, like this. But tell me, the employee and name between, do you have any space? No. So if my good looking, okay, what I'm going to do, again I have to take some space. Space also keep in the string format. Okay. Now tell me, how many strings you added? Three strings. The employee is a one string, space is a one string, and ename is a one string. Total strings are three. So now if I executed this one, now what happened? The employee Smith, the employee Ellen, the employee Word, like this it will be displayed. So the employee Smith, okay, up to here, okay. To this Smith, again I'm adding. Okay, the employee Smith, again I'm adding. So what is the space? Again I'm giving some space. Again I'm adding. What I'm saying here, the employee Smith working as a is a one more. So working as a. So total how many strings now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Working as a. Now, what it was happened? The employee Smith working as a all of you. So now what I want to do now to this as a again I'm going to add which column? Job. But can you tell me job is also string type? Yes or no? String type. So now I was given here job and from EMP to execute. So now you can see the employee Smith working as a clerk, as a salesman, as a manager. But here A after there is no space. So that's why what we want to do. Yes. So now I'm going to give it some space and give it now. So finally to enter, now you can see the employee Smith, okay, the employee Smith working as a clerk, Alan working as a salesman, Jones are working as a manager, Scott working as a analyst, King working as a president. Okay, na? So now what it was happened, this is one sentence we formed here. One text we will be forming here with the help of what now? Concatenation operators. Okay, now you can use concatenation whenever you want to add. Right on below. Okay, right. So total strings now count here. One, this is one string. This is two. This is three. This is four. It is five. It is six. It is a seven. Total how many strings? Seven strings, sir. We added and forming one sentence. The employee Smith working as a clerk. Understand, no? Right. So this concatenation, mostly we are using in PLSQL language. Okay. At the time, it is very, very important for us. Okay. In programming levels. Okay. No. Right. And the next one, you can take siding distinct keyword. Distinct keyword. So basically, distinct keyword using what now? So write down. It is a predefined. It is a predefined keyword. So which is used to eliminate eliminate duplicate value to eliminate duplicate values. So what is the syntax for this? The syntax is, so now I have to take distinct, okay, of sending your column name. Okay, right. So come out and see the distinct keyword, how it was eliminated your duplicate values. For example, if I was call like select one specific column we am calling now, select a job from EMP table. In the job column, can you see, do you have any duplicates here? Yes, we have a duplicates. What are the duplicates are there? Clerk. So clerk so many times repeated, salesman so many times repeated, managers, analysts also there. So, but when I'm going to using the distinct keyword, okay, distinct, and to apply on my column is what now? Job. And from EMP, then you can see all duplicates are eliminated and it was taking only unique data. Unique means no duplicates. So everything is a single, clerk single, salesman, analyst, manager, president. So every single element is called as a uniqueness. Okay, now? So this is what. And suppose are you calling department number from this table? In this table also, we have some 20, 20, 20, 30, 30, 30, 10, 10, 10. So again, we have here duplicates are there. But in this case also, if I'm using my select statement along with a distinct keyword, okay, and what is this? Department number and from EMP table. So now again, what happened? All duplicates are allowed and kept into 10, 20 and 30 only. Okay, na? But this, okay, numbers you need to arrange in particular order. Then what you want to do? Then you have to apply what now? Order by class. So order by class we are using for, okay, sorting purpose. But what is what? We will go to next class. I will explain to you what is order by. So now we can see when I'm using order by on particular column, then what happened? Your distinct column data arranged into which order? Ascending order. Okay, na? Right down below these things. Okay, right. So these are what we called here. Okay, these are a few small, very small topics here. Okay, right. And the next one, see here. So carefully observe. For example, okay, suppose come to your database now. Come to your database now. You just open your SQL Plus environment and as usual, you need to connect with your user ID and password. So mydb 4 p.m. / mydb 4 p.m. So I was successfully connected to my database now. But after connected, let me call, okay, directly I'm calling one table DEPT. So in DEPT table, whatever the information we saved here, that information is going to be displayed. And how this information will be displayed means it's very, very systematically in the format of a tabular format, your data will be displayed. And the information also very clear and very neatly displayed here. There is no disturbance in this. Okay, na? Right. So because of reason why your data was proper table structure format, it was displayed means the reason is very simple, guys. Here, the reason is very simple here. All relational database management systems, what I said, data can be stored in which format? Okay, in tabular format. Okay, tabular format displayed and very neatly my data also displayed. But the same to same, suppose one more table I'm calling now. What is the table? EMP. But when you see EMP, is there any systematical order? Is there any systematical order? No. For example, you can see this. So first what happened, this is my entire columns, and one more column is came into next line. And the same columns data will save it, but the department number column data will come into next line. Like all the rows, all the rows. So 1, 2, 3. Again, after 3 rows, again what it was happened, again it was repeated your column headings. Again repeated, again some rows, again repeated, again some rows, again repeated, again some rows. Like it will be how many rows displayed? 14 rows. But in 14 rows of data on each and every iteration, can you see? So column headings. Here also column headings. Here also column headings. Here also column headings. Here also column headings. Okay, now? So now we will be taken. But I don't understand that why this column headings are or headers are, why it was repeated so many times. Is it necessary to repeat like this? No. And now tell me, whatever the EMP table data is there, the data is displayed. Is there any systematical order? No. So completely confusing. Okay. So this is what it was happening when we are not set page size and lines properties. So when you are not set page size and lines properties, then the problem is what now? We cannot display our table data in proper systematical order. But which type of tables? When your tables are having use or large scale amount of data, when it was there, when small data is there, very clear and neatly displayed. But when my data is big table, then the big table data directly will not display it. And how it was displayed? Some splitting, it will be displaying like this. Understand? Na? So to overcome this problem, what I want to say, right on, to retrieve, to retrieving, to retrieving or displaying, display a large scale, display the large scale data, data in proper systematical order, then we need to follow, or we need to set, then we need to set the following two methods. sorry, we need to set the following two properties, not methods, properties. Properties like below. What are the properties here? First property is called as a page size n. Second property is called as a line n. Okay, now? Right. So what is page size and what is the lines? Okay, careful observe. So page size and lines you are careful observe and what it mean by n. Okay. So page size is nothing but guys here. This property, the use of this property is what now? Observe. This property is used here. This property is used to display the number of rows, to display the number of rows, okay, per a page. By default, okay, by default, one page is equals to how many rows, guys, here? 14 rows. By default, one page is equals to 14 rows. Okay. Now next one is what now? Here, n, okay. Here n is nothing but n is nothing but the size of a page. Okay, right. Careful observe. By default, a page is equals to how many rows? 14 rows. Here n is called as what now? Size of a page. Now we can see. For example, just imagine. Suppose in your table there are 100 rows are there. Understand? 100 rows are there. So these 100 rows I need to display on my screen. Then what we want to do, if you are not set page size and lines property, if you are not set it, and directly are you writing your program, select a query, select a star from EMP, then what it was happening here, your rows, whatever it was there, it will be splitted. It will be splitting. SR 1, 2, 3, 4, like it will be splitting. So now, here it will be split and automatically it will be split your data. But each page is having how many here? 14 rows. That means if I want to display these 100 rows, then how many pages are required? One page is equals to 14 rows. Now I have 100 rows. Then how many pages? 7.5. That means 8. Okay, now? And now we can see. So your 100 rows, I'm displaying. Your 100 rows, I'm displaying in how many pages? 8 pages. It will be happen. So 8 pages to display your data is better, or I want to display 100 rows in one page is better. 100 rows in one page is better. Point understand now? Why should I want to go for 8 pages? I can go for 1 page. In 1 page, all 100 records are I'm displaying. So that is what the purpose of what now? Page size. So if this property is used to display number of rows per a page. Okay now? And by default, each page is equals to 14. Here n is nothing but size of a page. Now we can see what is the syntax for this subject. Set page size is n. Set page size is 100. Okay, now? Now you can see. So I just come out here. See, my data will be splitting here. Okay, data will be splitted. But I need to set, I'm going to set, what is the property? Page size. Suppose if I'm giving 50, in my page, how many rows can be displayed? 50 rows. If I'm giving 500, it means for a single page, how many rows are displayed? 500 rows. So like this, you have to set, suppose I'm setting here 100. Clear na? So 100 I just give it. So, but the page size 100 I was given, but from how much or how many number of rows can I display in one single page, sir? Okay. Let me see. I'm going to pass here 50,000 I'm sending. So that means for a page, how many rows I'm displaying? 50,000. Now we can see allowed. But if I'm sending 50,001, what it was showing? Error. What is error? Page size option 50,001 is called as a out of the range. Your range must be 0 through 50,000 only. That means the maximum number of rows in a page, how much? 50,000 only I can display. This point right down. This point right down. Note. The maximum size of a page in Oracle database is, okay, is how much here? 0 to 50,000. Okay, now? Right. Next property is called as what now? Lines n. So, sir, this property, why we required? Okay. For example, let me see. For example, can you observe your every row data will be splitting. Some data displaying on one line, some data displaying into next line. So that means, okay, one row data, how many lines it was displayed? 2 lines. One row data displayed in how many lines? 2 lines. That's the reason my data is split. Split means dividing, breaking. Your data is break. So why should I want to break like this? See, it's not proper systematically. So now what I want to do by, okay, n means what now here? Number of bytes for each line. So by default in SQL Plus, each line is having okay 80 bytes only. Each line is allocating how many bytes of memory? 80 bytes. And it means that every one character will take to occupy one byte. So that means now tell me, within the line, within the line, how many characters can I display? 80 characters only I can display. Okay. For example, in my table, each row, okay, na, each row is having 100 characters of, okay, 100 characters. Each row having 100 characters, like, okay, 100 characters, like you have a 100 rows are there. Like you have a 100 rows are there. So 100 rows, but each row is having how many characters? 100. Now tell me, then these 100 rows, whenever I want to display on the screen, then this 100 rows data will displayed into how many lines? Each row, 2 line. 100 rows into 2. That means your data displayed into how many lines? 200 lines will be displayed. Okay, na? So 80 characters here and remaining 20 characters will display next line. This is first row. Again, second row, 80 characters, remaining 20 characters are displayed into second line. This is second row. So like I have 100 rows means how many lines? 200 lines, sir, will go to form. But now tell me, your row data displaying on 2 lines is better or displaying into 1 line is better? 1 line is better. So that's what I want to do. Now I need to set a lines property. So write down here. So this property is used to display number of characters in a single line. By default, a line contains, by default, a line contains 80 bytes memory. That means 80 bytes, huh? Huh? That means how many characters? Every one character is equals to 1 byte. So that 80 characters is equals to 80 bytes. Okay, now? Right. So now what I want to do, my line size will be increase. Okay, now? How to increase line size here? Syntax is there. What is the syntax here? Set lines and okay, right. So now we can see maximum in each line, how many number of bytes can I allocate? Means that if I given here 500 bytes, I can allow to a line. That means how many characters will displayed in one line? 500 characters are displayed. Like this, I will give it 32,768 if I'm giving, for example, or 767 I'm giving now. So now it is allowed. That means in my SQL plus editor, in SQL plus editor, in each line or in one line, how many number of characters can I print? 32,767 characters can I print. Okay, no? Okay. But now I'm giving 8. So what it was showing? Error. What it was say? Line size option 32,768 is called as a out of the range. Either a line can have a at least a minimum 1 byte, 1 byte, maximum 32,767 bytes. Are you clear? So this is what the line option. Okay. Now we can write here example. Set lines. Suppose I given 150. Note point. The maximum size of lines property is 1 to 32,767 bytes. From 1 to 1 byte to 32,767 bytes. Okay, right. So now this is what now lines and page size. Okay, the purpose of these two properties. So finally, you can come back and see. Completed? Finally, you can come back and see. So I just said, okay, now page size is 100. I just said lines are 150. After that, you can come back and see to display your EMP table. Now tell me, your EMP table is displayed in a systematical order. Is it clear? Understand now? So now your table data is very systematically, it was displayed. Okay. Now, but this is sets or this settings, these settings are not a permanent. For example, if I close this SQL plus, again, if I open this, I open this, as usual, you need to connect MyDB 4 PM. So MyDB 4 PM / MyDB 4 PM. You connect it. But don't set your page size and lines without setting. Directly call your table EMP. Again, it will show an order. Your table is having order. No. Again, clumsy. Again, splitting. My table data splitting into multiple units or multiple parts. Okay, again, my data is not in particular order. That's why what I want to do again, I have to set page size is 100, set lines 150 or 160, whatever. After setting, again, you come back to display EMP. Now we can see table properly displayed. Yes. So that means what you understand? Set page size, set lines are not permanent. Every time when you log in when you connect, when you open, compulsory these two properties are must be set. Every time manually you have to set for every connection. Okay na? So then only your table will be displaying, or table data will be displaying into proper systematical order. Okay, but is there any chances are there to make it these properties are as a permanent position? Means that, okay, if anybody asks you, it's not that option. There is a no chance to make it a permanent settings. Permanent settings are not possible. Why, sir? Why permanent settings are not there? Okay, it means that, can you tell me, suppose I just close. Okay, now I'm just closing, log out. Again, I just go to open. After open of your Oracle, what it was asking to me? Enter username. So now I was entered username mydb 4pm dot mydb 4pm. It means that this is a new login, exist old login. It's a new login. So when you login means it is called as a new, fresh connection. Which connection? Fresh connection. So when it was fresh connection, then your SQL plus environment will go to default settings. Default settings are what now? Every page is having 14 rows. Okay. Every line is have a 80 bytes. This is default. That means every login, every connection is called as a fresh connection, new connection. That's why your SQL plus environment is also going to, by default, which position? Starting position. Starting position is what now? Every one page is having how many rows? 14 rows. Every line is occupied how many bytes? 80 bytes. Okay, na? That is the reason every login you must be set a page size and lines, because every login is a new connection, fresh connection. Okay, na? That's why your settings are going to be again default mode. That default mode again, as your necessity, you just customization. Customization means modification. User requirement basis, my requirement basis, I want to modify in my style. Understand na? That is called a customization. Now understand these two properties. Why we are using these two properties means to properly displaying a large scale data tables in our SQL Plus editor systematically. At the time you can use these two properties. Understand? So these are okay. The basic introduction part of your Oracle SQL. Okay, na? Completed? Huh? Note down? Notes completed? Huh? Okay. So now, so the two properties, page size and lines. Clear na? Right. Next scenarios we will discuss. Right on. And these scenarios are somewhat important for us at work premises. When you're working in companies, okay, we called as a shortcuts. We called as what now? Shortcut techniques we called. It will be used at work premises to saving our time. Okay, that is what it is here. What kind of things? Okay, first one you can write here. How to create a new table from an existing table. From an existing table. From an existing table. From an existing table. Okay, right. There are different cases we have here to create, guys. Case number one. Okay, na? Case number one, without rows. Without rows means what now? Data. First case. Without the rows. In this case, careful observe how you need to design this. Okay, na? First observe here, don't write. Suppose, come to my database. I have already some tables. How many tables? Student, EMP, DUPT, SAL grade. Okay, if I want to make it some page size, make it some lines. Okay, now we can go to see. How many tables? Four tables are there. So DEPT table is one of the existing table. And this existing table, if I want to call, so having some structure, collection of rows, collection of columns. How many columns? Three columns. Department number, name, LOC. How many rows? Four rows. This is actually table. From this table, I want to create a new table. But how to create new table without a copy of rows or without rows? Without rows means I don't want to copy. These are not copy. I'm just to copy what? Structure. Okay, na? Columns only I copied. How to copy your upside? Create, don't write observe. Table, new DEPT1 as select star from DEPT, and you don't want it what now? Rows. That's why where false condition give it. Which condition? False condition. If I'm giving false condition may be any condition. 1 equals to 0, 0 equals to 1, 2 equals to 3, 5 equals to 10, 10 equals to 100, 100 equals to 100, anything. But condition must be false, not true. If I created, what's happened? You can see what's happened. Table created. Okay, sir. This table you can see in the tab list. Table created. What is the table name? New DEPT1. And now you can call new DEPT1. So what happening you can see? Rows are copied? No. But what it was copied? What it was copied? Structure. Structure means what? Columns. Okay, na? So without data, only what we copied? Structure or columns. This is without the rows. Creating a new table from an existing table without the rows. Write down syntax here. Create table. Give new table name as as select a star from old table name where false condition. Okay, now. So now you can take this one. So condition must be false. Okay, right. Next, case number two. In case number two, I want it with the rows. With the rows, if you want it, everything will be same, but condition must be true. Either 1 equals to 1, 2 equals to 2, 0 equals to 0, 10 equals to 10, condition will be 0. And now when condition will be 0, what it was happening you can see. So condition will be true, what it was happening you can see. So again, I'm going to create it. Create a table, new DEPT2 as select star from DEPT. What is condition? True condition, not false. Now true. With a true condition, I created my table. So table is created or not, check. Sorry. So new DEPT2 created a? Yes. After created, let me call. After created, let me call. Select a star from new DEPT number 2. What's happened? Creating a new table from an existing table with a copy of rows or data. Okay, na? So true condition, data also copied. False condition, only columns are copied. Okay, right now. This is second phase. Case number 3. With a specific specific rows. With the specific rows. Suppose I want to create my new table from an existing table with a specific rows. At the time, you just give it here condition. Okay, na? That is called as here specific condition. The which specific rows you want it, the specific condition you just apply. Now, example you can see. Okay, right. Suppose one of my existing table EMP. EMP, there are so many rows are there, 14 rows. But I want it only specific row data. Okay, now how to write? Create a table, new EMP1 as a select star from EMP where job is equals to clerk. If I created my table successfully created, and let me call this table. So new EMP1 table is created and let me call. Select a star from new EMP1. If I call, then I was created a new table with which rows? Only clerk data. See, only clerks are there. There is no analyst, there is no salesman's, there is no presidents, nothing. Only specific rows, clerks. Okay, na? Right. Right down below. Next, case number, okay, 4. Specific columns. Specific columns. Now, create table, new table, and here, in place of star, you have to give a columns. The columns you can give, that's called as here list of columns. You have to give. Okay. Now, so now you can see you want to create one new table with specific columns. So first of all, check it out your original table or main table. How many number of columns are there? You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is actually my table. But now I want to create a new table, new EMP number 2 as select EMP number E name sal. From which table? From EMP table. So now I'm creating table with how many columns? 3 columns. Now we can come out and see. Select a star from new EMP2. So now your table is created with how many columns? Only 3 columns. That's called required columns. Okay, now? Right. Right down below. Okay, right. So these are the different methods and different cases. Okay, how to create it, your new table. Okay, from an existing tables. Are you clear now? Yes. So I stop it here and will continue on Monday session. Some more the shortcuts we will see. Then after we will enter into some new topics. Okay, na? Right, yes. So thank you. Thank you so much. Google Classroom the code. Which Google Class you taken? There are two Google classes out there. 4 p.m. There are two are there. Yes. So take this two, and which is suitable you can take. Phone. అట్లేదా मंडे लेको हाँ ये कमांड यूज करने से टेबल क्रिएट न्यू यूजर आईडी क्रिएट न्यू लाया अभी लैपटॉप मंडे लेको कर दो हाँ
మామూలు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసుకుంటే కొన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ పంపిస్తాను అన్నారు సార్ టేబుల్స్ దాంట్లో ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేది
టేబుల్స్ కదా ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తాను